Welcome to Bluff Creek Podcast Radio. I'm Ben.
And I'm Daisy.
Today's special guest is
Lisa.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Mind if we ask you some questions?
That would be great. I would love to answer your questions.
Well, did you play any sports when you were a kid?
You know, when I was growing up, when I was around 5th grade like you guys are, I played tennis, and I was on the swim team, and I did gymnastics. Kept me pretty busy.
Yeah, seems like it. What kind of education did you have to get to become a nurse?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I had to go through all the way through high school, and then after high school I went to college, and then while I was in college, after my second year, I had to apply to nursing school. And then I had to get accepted. I went to nursing school for an additional 2.5 years. And then after I graduated, then I had to take boards, and then I became a registered nurse.
Do you have any other hobbies besides nursing?
Oh, well, my hobbies are have become my kids' hobbies, which we do a lot of stuff outside. So we like to ice skate and snowmobile and ski in the winter. And then in the summer, we like to swim on the lakes and go water skiing and jet skiing. And we like to travel. Like to do a lot of traveling.
You do a lot of water stuff. So do you live on a lake?
You know what? We have a family member that does, so we like to visit them a lot in the summer. And so we go there and we get to stay with them and be right on the lake with them.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. Very active.
Yeah, I have a cabin up north too in Park Rapids.
Oh, very nice. That's a beautiful area of Minnesota to go visit in the summer.
What kind of hospital do you work at?
Well, you know, right now I'm not working in a hospital. I go to people's homes and do assessments on people in their home. But when I first graduated from college and became a nurse, I worked in the hospital for 2.5 years, and it was a big hospital. And I worked with people that had cancer, and I was there working at that time with that patient population. And then I moved out of the hospital, and then I went to a clinic. And then from the clinic, now I'm going into people's homes. So with nursing, you can do all different kinds of things, which is really wonderful. You don't have to just do one kind of nursing.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Where did you nurse in college, or where did you start your nursing at?
My first job, I moved to Washington, D.C., and I got a job out there. And I lived there for the 2.5 years I was in the hospital, and then I moved back to the Midwest, and then I've been working here ever since. So that was my first job, far away from here.
Did you live by the monuments in Washington, D.C.?
You know, I didn't live right by them, but close enough that I could go see them all the time. Yeah, which I did a lot. And it's a fun area to go and visit and see, for sure. And work in, too.
So, do you have any kids?
I do. I have 2 that go here to Bluff Creek. I have one that's in kindergarten, and her name is Alexa. And then I have a 3rd grader, and his name is Nick. And those are my 2 kids. And then I have a dog and a husband.
My brother's in 3rd grade, too.
Is he? Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
What's your brother's name?
Mason.
Oh, okay, sure. Yep, I know Nick knows him. Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
I have a 4th grade sister, and her name's Elena.
Elena, very nice. Yeah. She'll be doing this next year, I bet.
Yeah.
Yep, as a 5th grader.
Yes, I think she will.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to know about?
Did you ever get to do any surgeries while you were nursing?
You know, in nursing school, you could pick different kinds of things to be able to do, to watch. And I picked going into the OR, operating room, for one of my rotations. So I got to watch more than I got to help. So, but in doing that, then I kind of learned that that's not maybe the area I wanted to go into. Because I like being able to talk to the patients, and you can't really talk to them when they're having surgery because they're asleep.
Yeah.
But it was very fun to get to see. And so that was a good experience. But I never worked in the operating room.
Have you ever took any kinds of shots?
I have given lots of shots. I've given lots of shots to babies and to older people. Sometimes people get them in their arms. Sometimes they have to get them in their hip or their bottom. So I have given a lot of shots. And I've gotten a lot of shots too. Because when you're in healthcare, you have to, make sure you get immunized against a lot of the things like hepatitis and some of those different things. So I had to get a lot of shots too.
Yeah.
Do your other nurses, do they give you shots when you have to get a shot?
Usually that's what happens. We take turns of giving each other what we need to get for shots, right? So you want to give that friend of yours a nice shot so they'll do it nicely back to you. That's usually how it goes.
Did you decide earlier on when you were a kid that you wanted to be a nurse?
I think I decided kind of when I went off to college. I didn't really have it in my head early on that I was going to go into nursing, but when I got to college and my older sister became a nurse, I thought that was pretty cool. My grandfather was a doctor, so I thought, I can do this, and I kind of thought it was really interesting. And then once I got involved in it, I've really have enjoyed it.
Did you go to a certain school in this area?
All the schools I went to, I grew up in Iowa. So I went to high school, all like elementary and high school in Iowa, and then I went to college at the University of Iowa. And so I moved up here after I got all done with school. So I didn't get to go to the schools around here, although I know they're wonderful.
When did you start thinking about wanting to be a nurse?
I think when I was probably a freshman in college. And you know what, they kind of want you to start deciding what you need to do. And so I decided then.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Lisa, today.
Thank you for having me. No problem.
Today's radio podcast was brought to you by Bluff Creek Elementary and Eastern Carver County Schools.